What's up guys, Vyminal back at it again with another video, and today is a very special day because we have the G Pro TKL and the G512 Carbon from Logitech. Now both of these keyboards both feature Logitech's proprietary Romer G switches. The G512 has the linear variant and the G Pro has the tactile variant, and we're going to be going over the differences in just a bit. But let me tell you a story first. Back in February, when Apex Legends came out, I became completely obsessed with trying to improve my game. And naturally, being the tech guy that I am, as soon as I started practicing and taking the game seriously, I started taking a look at my gear. And I wanted to determine if I could play better using different keyboards, using different mice, seeing if gear really mattered in terms of real-world performance and gameplay. Now obviously it does, but how much can it improve your gameplay? That's what I wanted to find out. And while I was doing my research, I found out that a lot of CSGO pros and a lot of Apex Legends pros currently, in the competitive scene today, prefer using the Logitech G Pro. They prefer using Logitech Romer G switches, and I wanted to find out why. I thought to myself, maybe the fastest way to find out why pros prefer the switch is to just go ahead and try it out for myself to see if it would have any effects on my gameplay and see how I would improve using that switch. To tell you the truth guys, the results were very surprising. Now mind you, if you've been watching this channel for a while now, I've used a lot of keyboards in the past. I've used KL, Gateron, Cherry, knockoff switches, Utemu, just about every popular switch on the market. But up until a month ago, when I first tried the Romer G switch, it completely shattered my perception of what makes a great switch and what makes a good keyboard. So yeah, a month ago I bought the G Pro TKL with my own money for my personal rig. So this is totally an unbiased opinion of what my experience was using this keyboard. Again, the results were very, very surprising. When you're playing a fast-paced game like Apex Legends, you want to make sure that your movement in-game is not restricted and that you can react extremely fast. It's the fastest battle royale out there right now. And you want to make sure that your movements are quick, you're very snappy, and you can react to whatever situation. When the enemy comes behind you or below you, above you, you never know what's going to happen in Apex Legends, and that's why I love it. As soon as I fired up the game and used the keyboard for the first time, it didn't take getting used to or anything like that. The difference was instantly apparent. That I could move faster with switches that actuate faster than your typical mechanical switch. Now, as you know, the Romer G is 25% faster than your typical mechanical switch in that its travel distance is 3mm instead of 4, and the actuation distance is 1.5mm instead of 2. Now, on paper, it seems like a very small difference. Do you really feel that 1mm difference or 0.5mm difference? And the answer is yes. It's a resounding yes. Now, I'm not sure if those two factors are the only ones that contribute to the overall feel, but when using a Romer G, it doesn't matter if it's the linear or the tactile version, I can just press keys faster and you can move faster, you can react faster in game. That was my major takeaway from experimenting with these two keyboards in Apex Legends. Finally, I tried going back to my Cherry MX keyboard, which I was using, I think, a Cherry MX Blue. And, the difference was night and day. I couldn't move as fast. Arguably, maybe you could get similar results using a Cherry MX, like a linear Cherry MX switch. You could get comparative results. I have tried as well the Cherry MX Speed Silver switch, which is the fastest switch out on the market right now. It's even faster than the Romer G. And what I did notice is that it was way too easy for me to press the keys, and I would fat finger my in-game skills using the Cherry MX Speed Silver switch. But it would not happen with the G Pro or the G512 because of the Romer G. Because I feel the Romer G is the common ground. It requires more tactile intention to actuate the keys, but it still reacts faster than your typical switch. So it's a good common ground. You won't fat finger your skills, but you can still press it faster than other mechanical switches. So that's why I think the Roamer G is preferred by pros. It's one of those things that you guys have to go out and try for yourself. Maybe if you have a computer shop near you that has a Roamer G on display, maybe you could try it out for yourself and see if you could feel the difference. Especially if you've been used to Cherry MX Blues since forever, because I know Cherry MX Blue is probably one of the most common switches out on the market, and your chances are you're probably using a Cherry MX Blue or a similar switch, right? Now, glossing over the differences between the G512 Carbon and the G Pro. The G Pro has a matte plastic body, and the keys aren't raised, so you can see it's not a bezel-less key design, as opposed to the G512, which has raised keys and an aluminum back panel. Now, despite being this one a linear variant and this one a tactile variant, I still find it easier to actuate the keys with the G Pro, maybe because the keys aren't raised, so you can actuate the keys even faster. Despite having a linear or tactile variant in Roamer G, they feel very, very similar. They feel very, very similar in terms of these two different boards. So I don't think you can go wrong with either of these boards. It only depends if you want a full keyboard variant or a TKL variant. Personally, I'm a TKL guy, and I've been using TKL for the past 2 years. So yeah, I think the answer to why pros prefer the Roamer G is that because it actuates faster than a typical mechanical switch, and it doesn't actuate too fast, that it is still a reliable key press, so you don't accidentally activate your skills in-game. So that's it for this quick video, guys. I hope my research helped you out and informed you on why you should consider the Roamer G switch. This has been Vyminal. I'll catch you next time.